So for Pythagorean theorem, Pythagorean theorem is for right triangles only.
Grant, we can't see the screen.
What do you see?
Just the desk and the homework.
Oh, I'm on the wrong camera. I see. Okay. I can fix that. Okay. For right triangles only. Okay. So what I have is I've got like usually like a short side, a middle. So I'm going to say that this is called a leg and this is called a leg. They're the legs of the triangle. This is called the hypotenuse. And for us to be able to actually like have a formula for the Pythagorean theorem, my legs are going to be called A and B, and my hypotenuse is going to be called C. I totally forgot. So then it says on this little section down here, name the legs and the hypotenuse. A and B are the legs, C is the hypotenuse, right? The Pythagorean theorem says that if I add up the two legs and I square them, so leg squared, A squared, plus the other leg squared, B squared, leg squared plus leg squared equals the hypotenuse squared. So the numbers, when you square them, will equal each other. And here are some, we call them Pythagorean triples. A Pythagorean triple means that the numbers work out into whole numbers and they're really nice and easy. So here's some. A leg is 3, another leg is 4, and the hypotenuse is 5. The longest side is always the hypotenuse. Another one, obviously doubles 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, doubled, easy. Another one, 5 squared plus 12 squared equals 13 squared. 5, 12, 13 is another Pythagorean triple. And there's a lot more, okay? These are the ones that work out to be whole numbers. You will get a decimal because you'll have to do a square root of an irrational number, a square root of a non-perfect square. So let's look at this right-hand side up here. To be or not to be? The Pythagorean theorem will only work for right triangles. C is always the longest side. So let's practice some of these. A 5, a 12, and a 13. The 13 has to be the C because it's the longest side. So it's going to be 5 squared. So we're plugging in these numbers. Plus 12 squared equals 13 squared. So do the math. You can use a calculator for this. 25 plus 144, does that equal 169? Yes, no, does it? So this is gonna be a yes. Because 169 does equal 169. So this is a Pythagorean triple, 5, 12, 13, but I told you that. Down here, this 12 is the longest side. That has to be the C. A and B though, can be either. So I'm asking you, does 6 squared plus 9 squared equal 12 squared? You should know these by heart. Does 36 plus 81 equal 144? No, which means that this is not a right triangle. If the sides are 6 and 9 and 12, that's not a right triangle because it doesn't equal each other. All right, so then I'm going to help you set up one of the words. I'm scrolling down. I'm going to help you set up one of the word problems, the one that's the most difficult. And then you have to do the rest of these practice on your own. And this is going to be your homework that's due. Your digital notebook is uploaded, so that's good, right?
Wait, so this practice thing, the rest of this practice thing is our homework?
Yeah, and there's really only 5 problems. So it's wonderful. And A describes a rectangle with a diagonal drawn through it. So that's totally fine because you can then label your rectangle with a diagonal drawn through it. But again, just let's verify this one. A car drives 20 miles east. East on a map is usually to the right. So I'm going to do that. And then 45 south. To the nearest hundredth of a mile, that means you need to use a calculator and square root. How far is the car from its starting point? There's a phrase, it's called like as the crow flies. The phrase means if I were to, from school here at Troy, if I were to want to go to Disneyland, if I were a bird, I could just fly straight there, directly, straight line. Because normally we have to go through stoplights, turn right, turn left, and zigzag all through town, right? But as the crow flies is a phrase that means if you were to just go directly straight there in the air. Okay, so you will hear that again. So here's as the crow flies. I'm trying to find my C. Okay. So go ahead and get started on that right now. And I'm going to stay here.
Miss Grant.
Yeah.
So